So after The Last Airbender, just came up with a magic set, and I rewatched the whole series. Great time. It has that really weird thing about being very serious, very evocative, like the way that the Fire Nation ships look. It's great. But it also has that childlike interpretation, the childlike silliness to it. It's fun. It's really fun, and it's really good. After finishing that, I thought I'd give Legend of Korra a try. I never finished Legend of Korra before. I watched like the first season and thought it was alright, and then I just whatever. But I realized something that I actually really enjoyed about Legend of Korra, and watching it like basically back to back, finishing Avatar and then within the next few days starting Legend of Korra, you notice something. The last episode of Avatar, you learn something new. You learn that the Avatar can take people's bending. You learn that bending can be taken away. And the first season of Korra is about someone taking bending away. That isn't the Avatar. It is just as if it is the next part, the next thing right after Avatar: The Last Airbender. It is a sequel, leaving off just where the last one stopped. But not in the case of the time. It is a very long time. Like, Aang has grown up, they built a city. It's more modern, but still, like, not modern, obviously. But the ideas are right there. Bloodbending is something that's been around for a while, and spoilers, Amon using bloodbending to take away people's bending is pretty interesting. And I think it's a really weird mystery because you just finished Avatar and you're like, oh, okay, taking away people's bending is a thing. It's the Avatar's thing. This guy's taking away people's bending. What the fuck is going on? And then they don't explain it, I don't think. They don't explain how Amon does it. They just say he does it with his blood bending. My idea is how I've always thought of it is he's creating like a blood clot in their brain that just stops them from bending. The second season is called Spirits, which is weird for a second, but then you realize it's actually the next part. So Avatar books or seasons or chapters or whatever you want to call it have the names. So they have Air, Earth, Fire. Those are the first three books of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Then the first book is Water in Legend of Korra, and the next one is Spirits. We've gone beyond the four elements, and now we're talking about spirits. Legend of Korra does a lot with the aesthetic aspects of being a sequel and does a lot of things well. As the world of Avatar becomes less focused around just surviving the Fire Nation, things can develop. Non-benders flourish. They make these weird machines. One of them looks weird. Anyway, and there's bending games, bending ideas, and the Air Nation is coming back. It does a lot of stuff right. And those are the first two seasons. I enjoy Legend of Korra, and if you haven't given it a chance, I would say maybe. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of stuff to love. Give it a chance if you want to. It's not as good as Avatar, but it has its moments. I think season 1 is genuinely good. Okay, so season 3 of Avatar. This season is when I took a step back. So the main villain, or the main villain group, is the Red Lotus. The Red Lotus is a group of anarchist terrorists that do a lot of things to bring about equality. And it's very interesting to me, some of the things they do and how they are framed within the show. Specifically, the murder of the Earth Queen. The Red Lotus kill the Earth Queen, who is shown to be a massive dick and basically enslaving her soldiers. Earlier in the season, or I guess in the last season when the Spirit Gates opened, a lot of airbenders just popped up. Not like people gained the ability to airbend when they wouldn't be able to before. And the Earth Queen basically took all of them and made them be soldiers, like forced them to be soldiers. So that's cool. but and also just the inherent oppression and shittiness that comes with being royalty. They killed her, and then the city proceeded to like burn itself down, which is whatever. It got me thinking about how Avatar and The Legend of Korra view the status quo, view how the world shouldn't change in any meaningful way. This is how the show can have this roaring 20s feel and a king and queen and a queen royalty ancient feel, like the same thing as it was in Avatar, wearing gold, a crown, all this stuff. It's how it can have both of those things, and it doesn't feel right because it isn't. I doubt there are many people around today that would defend monarchy as a just system of governance. But you might say the murder of the Earth Queen is bad. And I could see that as an argument. Yeah, you could probably take down the monarchy without murdering her. Maybe. I don't know. Or you might say that this is strictly pointed out. You can't have one nation because you need four. Four nations for the balance. You need balance between the spirit and the material. I don't know what the spirit world and the not spirit world. You need balance between them. You need four nations for balance between the elements. Balance, 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 which to me seems like a justification of why stuff can't change. This isn't really a problem in the first Avatar, besides maybe the last episode, because Aang, Katara, everyone else are just trying to survive for most of the show, trying to stop the Fire Nation from genociding everybody, enslaving everybody, being the only benders left, or whatever they're trying to do. World domination, murder the Avatar, stuff like that. They are on the back foot. They are the underdogs. So that is why it's okay for them to not focus on systemic change, because they are currently trying not to die. Though I'm not the biggest fan of the ending of Avatar, I think the last fight is cool, but also like not the highest stakes, even though it is the final fight. It's just that Aang has the Avatar state, which kind of just makes him win. But I still enjoy it. It's just like that. It's like, yeah, the Fire Lord is the most powerful firebender maybe ever. Like, way more powerful than Aang, and he's got the meteor comet, Sozin's comet. It's, and he's got all the fire and stuff, and yeah, that's a lot. But Aang has like a billion avatars to fucking fight with him that are insanely powerful as well. Though the fight isn't done because Aang doesn't want to kill him. That's the real interesting part. That's why like the fight feels a little superficial, but Aang stopping it and just taking away his bending is so satisfying. And that's what makes the fight good, the conclusion of it. Though the actual fight is the disappointing thing to me is that Zuko just goes back to being the Fire Lord. Nothing has changed about the system of the Fire Nation, they just have a different ruler. And I'm not saying Zuko's gonna do that. Zuko seems like a great guy. But what about Zuko's son, grandson, granddaughter, kids? Any of them could do what the Fire Lord did before. Maybe it would be difficult, but having one person in charge that can just go to war, like what happened to with Sozin, the Fire Lord that started the 100 Years' War, it's a little disappointing. Though completely changing the Fire Nation is a lot to talk about, and they probably didn't want to do it because it's a kid's show, and yeah, I get why Avatar is like that. And I don't blame Avatar for being like that because it's only a little bit at the end of the show that I don't really like. And that's okay. That's okay. But with Korra, she and the people are the oppressors. Like, the thing is that a lot of the show is talking about how benders and the Avatar and royalty oppress people. That is a lot of the show. Season 1 and Season 3 are both about that. Season 1 is about benders specifically, about how benders can use their powers to oppress non-benders, and Amon teaches non-benders how to fight against the benders. And they're not wrong. The thing is that they are not wrong, and they are extreme. Taking away people's bending is not great, but it does seem to me like a lot of the fear is taking away exceptional people. Benders are born with the ability to be basically better than non-benders. They are born with the power to do things that non-benders couldn't even dream of. They can move rocks with their mind. They could make fire out of nothing. They could control air. They could water stuff. And they can kill people so easily. Non-benders can't do shit. They can't do fucking shit. What if an airbender comes up and just makes the air away from their head? That's a really bad explanation. They killed the Earth Queen like that. They are the weakest part of the system. And I think in some form, it's almost like non-benders are just supposed to be there. The benders do all the important stuff. They are the exceptional ones. They can do so much. And the non-benders are just there. I think this goes back to how people think of geniuses in a society, which I don't particularly think that's a thing. I think there are people who can learn a lot and can think of very many ideas, but geniuses, I don't know. There are many people doing things, and I don't think I necessarily believe that there are people out there who have a insanely higher system of thinking. People just think differently to each other, and sometimes that works out better and sometimes that works out worse. Intelligence is a measurable-ish thing. Like, you can say that a dog doesn't have as much intelligence as a human, but measuring the fine details is fuzzy, if not impossible. This goes back in some way to Ayn Rand's idea of the people who hold up the world. Atlas holding up the world, but rather than that, in the Avatar universe, it's the benders that hold up the world. Hey, wait a minute. Is this bit funny anymore? Though I am talking about Bioshock, I think that I can actually tie it into the discussion instead of just particularly changing it. I thought of this video when I was watching Legend of Korra, not thinking of this idea of exceptionalism and how it is portrayed in Avatar and Legend of Korra, but because the suits that the whatever guy's name is, these suits that the non-benders, the equalists, ooh, that's a scary name, the equalists use, they look kind of like Big Daddies, so that was gonna be my transition, and I did. But I think this actually works out because this is a thing. There is just this idea present in the world that selfishness and all of these things are good, or at least something. People are influenced by the things they watch and see more than they know. Maybe? I don't know. It's kind of condescending. You don't know how much you're influenced by something. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But people are influenced by the media they consume a lot. A lot of things you read, see, consume, those things are just in your mind now, and they'll come out in some ways if you really believe them, or at least just take them as a given, which is something that a lot of people do with capitalism, Ayn Rand's beliefs of selfishness and egoism, which go hand in hand with capitalism and stuff like that. Those are just things that people keep in their minds, so they take that as a given. You know, for this being a Bioshock segment, I haven't even talked about Bioshock. And you might expect me to talk about Bioshock Infinite because in the first Bioshock video, I talked about Bioshock 1. In my SpongeBob video, that was mostly about Bioshock, which is a really funny. Oh my god. I love doing stupid shit like that. Like the way I ended the No Country for Old Men in the middle of a sentence.
Video will end with very little satisfaction and closure.
That video is about Bioshock 2, and you'd expect me to talk about Bioshock Infinite now, but I'm actually working on a Fallout video. I've been working on it for a while now, and that video talks about Bioshock Infinite. So, yeah. There's a Bioshock movie coming out, I think. At least, like, rumors about it, right? Remember how I said in my Bioshock video that the fucking Bioshock would not work as a movie?
You're watching a movie, it's like, oh, he's mind controlled. That's pretty crazy. I wouldn't have expected that. Oh, I was reading a book. He's mind controlled. Pretty crazy. Maybe I wasn't expecting that. But in a game, when you feel like you're in control, having that taken away from you is just powerful.
Well, they're making a movie about the first game, the one I was talking about then, so let's see how it goes. Maybe I'm right. I think I am. I mean, it works better as a video game. So I think the takeaway of this video is be aware of what your media is saying to you, subtly or not. And I don't think that Avatar is trying to get that into your head. Monarchy, monarchy, capitalism, capitalism, exceptionalism. I don't think they're trying to do that. I think it's just so ingrained within them, they're taking it as a given, and that's something you can be aware of, and I think that's something you should be aware of. And yeah. Yeah. Yeah.